Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Hi, Nia. Yay, somebody came. I woke up late. I didn't do any announcements or anything. Can you hear me, my dear? Oh, good. Oh, good. How are you? How was your show this morning? I'm sorry I missed it. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I am. I am, Nia, and I put a link to it in the description of the video for anybody who'd like to color along. Hi, May. Good morning, May. How are you? Or actually, evening, I guess. Hi, Karen. Oh, I am discombobulated today, guys. I've been, my hours have gotten all out of whack again. And so I've barely had a cup of coffee. I woke up late. I'm like, oh no. You. She's got a little story down here about how she likes um, butterflies and the way that they flit here and there, and I'll read it in a second. But I just want to see everybody coming in. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Hi, Elizabeth E. Oh, by the way, Elizabeth loved the experiment that you had Ann do. Loved that. Um, Hi, Mia Bear. How are you? Karen, thank you very much. And thank you for that. Yeah, she's enjoyed a little bit of popularity. A few people have picked her up and seem to be liking her. Hi, Jody. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Candy. Yeah, we're having nasty, horrible, rainy weather here, and thank you, thank you. She's my new baby, and I'm trying to think of what to go with her. Hi, Robin. Nice to see you. Hi, Ollie. Thank you for your comments. And so I've been trying to decide what I should color her with, and and I don't know if I should do ink tints because it seems like I always do ink tints. I'll preface this by saying I want to do ink tints, but I could use the Black Widows. I could use the Prismacolors. I could use whatever it is that you guys like that I have. And okay, so Candy is Selena. I think I have that written down. Tea and cake and live streams. So I'm all good. How are you? I'd love some tea and cake. Actually, I'd love a hot cup of coffee. Uh, Perks of being my so it's your mama's birthday. Mama birthday. And okay, all right, cool. So do you guys have any preference or can I indulge my love of my ink tints or oh thank you, May. Good evening, Be Bright Sparkles, whose real name I know and I want to say, but I don't know if you want to preserve your anonymity or not. So I always call you Be Bright. Oh, by the way, thank you to the folks who ordered bags last week. If you happen to listen to this video, they will be there between the 22nd and the 24th. Well, I wanna use ink tints, but then I always want to use ink tints, Jody. So I can use anything. I can use pencils if you prefer, uh, or whatever. I probably should decide, huh? Um, well, hi Deb. Thank you so much for coming and welcome. Deb, help me out. Ink tints or pencils? You get to choose. I'm designating you. Do what's comfortable for you. We love to watch you. Okay. Pencils. Okay. Deb has spoken. We get pencils. We are going to color with the Black Widows. And I have two of the sets. I have the Cobras and I have the original Black Widows. So that's 40. It should be more than plenty. I am not familiar enough with these yet to just pick them up and go for it. Hi, Joey. Welcome, welcome. Creepy, creepy. I was dreaming last night about a dragon last night making, with the dragon was making poetry. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Alrighty. So let's, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the black pencils, or with the Black Widows, they are black pencils, black wood cores, beautiful, vibrant colors, color like a dream, worth every penny. And there are right now there are 3 sets of 24 that are available in different tones. And then there's 2 sets coming on the market. Not here yet. Both of them will be skin tones. And one is a light skin tone set. The other is a dark skin tone set. From what Deb has said, they are colored or evaluated for light fastness now. And so they'll be available when that process is done. And he'll tell you. Thank you, Nia. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hi, Becca. They are amazing pencils. I do love them. It's a good price point. It's a good pencil, a good overall tool, and they're not quite as soft as the Prismas, but they're not hard in any way, and they're really lovely to work with. So without further ado, let's get started on my new little dragon. Now, she will not live alone in the forest or in the land for very long. There will be more of her to come. Not necessarily this particular dragon, but other dragons and fantasy creatures will be in my next book, along with some pages of more traditional work that you are used to seeing from me. So, Spica, this is Spica. She's a friendly little dragon. She simply adores butterflies, the way they flit and fly here and there. Her favorite thing about them is the way they tickle when they land on her. Fortunately for Spica, the butterflies adore her too. So now you know the story of Spica. And so the biggest thing to me is to try and decide what color dragon do I want to make her? Now, there's a big piece of me that loved the Christopher Paolini series, Aragon. And so I almost want to make her as a green body dragon with a leopard print markings. You think she should be pink? Okay, we've got Mia Bear and Jody going pink and purple. Oh no, several of wait. Tried to heat the bad idea with these pencils. The paint on the outside bubbles easily. Oh wow, that's good to know. So are the leads actually broken, May? I wonder if that happened in shipping. That they probably got and Sparkles. She's a girly dragon after all. Yay. Ah, ah. Okay, well, we could easily make her pink. Hang on. We could go for pink. We could go for a pink dragon. Let me see. I have the widows. Okay. So these are the widows that I have that are all swatched out. And we have some nice colors. We have bubblegum. We have cyanide pink. We have plum pudding, which is a good one. And we have fancy pink. It happened during shipping. Oh, I didn't realize that they came up from Australia. Always sparkles. Plum pudding. Okay. So, so, so Nia likes plum pudding, and Mia Bear and Jody both like the pinks. You guys are showing that you're all young. But if you want a pink dragon, we'll go for a pink dragon. Let me get those pinks out. We have the fancy pink. Let's see here. Okay, there's the plum pudding. And let's see. There is the bubblegum. And there is the fancy pink. So let's see. Let's start with these and see what we can do. Color and okay, so oh that white. Well, that's good to know. That's really good to know. It's of course it's the timing, right? Oh, that's great. Great. Good to know. Yeah, this is the wrong time of the month for me to be looking at at coloring supplies. So I'm just going to start with a light layer of the fancy pink. Now, this paper, by the way, I printed it out on my, let me zoom down a little bit. I pink when she start. Oh, look, you guys are making up stories about her. That's wonderful. Okay, so she starts out pink when she's this young, and when she gets older, she'll turn red. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So I'm just going to start out with a light layer of pink all over her little body. sort of barely shows. But it's always that way in the beginning, isn't it? It always takes a while before you get a feel for it and put in a little of your shading and do all of that. So how is everybody? How's your week been? What's been going on in your lives? 1750 in Canada. Hi, Susie. And if you guys hear my stomach growling, do not worry about it. I woke up late. I did not get a chance to eat before the stream. I will therefore be ending on time to allow everybody a chance to grab something before May's stream at 4 my time. So I'm just glad my drawing block is finally over. You did, Susie? Congratulations. That's wonderful. Hi, Nanamo. Hi, Pamela. Wow. I'll bet you that's Albert's way of, well, actually, it could be Amazon's way. Sellers set an initial price, but then Amazon algorithm sort of takes over. But it could be Albert's way of apologizing for the fact that his skin tone sets are late. I don't know him, so those of you who do probably know more about that than I would. Oh yeah, she's gonna look great pink. And we'll give her a little Oh, thank you, Nanamo. I appreciate hearing that. And the flower one with the multicolored flowers. The story of how I now that is probably gonna be the last story video because that was the only story that I was holding out on. And I think I got through that pretty well. Yes. Oh, am I off the screen? Okay. Of course I'm off the screen. It's a discombobulated day. Didn't get a chance to do any of my advanced stuff. But what can you say? A discombobulated day works too. Thank you for those early thumbs up. There are 7 out of the 20. So that's a good ratio. And I made a brief announcement in my coloring group. So she's called Spica, Spika, or however you want to spell it. And her, what do you guys think of the little story? Would you rather see a space like? I mean, I just thought I'd leave that little space because once you get, I mean, there's a lot to color on my pages and when I create them. So I figured that sacrificing a little space right there would be okay. Spica the Sparkly Dragon. Okay, good. So the story floats, at least among a few. Let's see. Yeah, I think I am going to color her tail. Now the question is, do I want to go ahead and base that in this color or hold out and do it in, I guess we should do her face too. Whoops, sorry. Should pay attention to the computer. Just breathe, Christine. Just breathe. I was so worried when I fell asleep because it was 6 o'clock this morning that I was going to oversleep the alarm. These are nice pencils. And this is just cardstock, guys. Just 110-pound cardstock. Hi, Lisette. Welcome. Should catch up on chat here since I looked away. Oh, good, Nia. Thank you for that. It is a little unusual of a feature. I sort of, borrowed the concept from Dragonology, which is one of my favorite books. And the real challenge, of course, is to come up with a dragon that doesn't look like anybody else's dragon. And so that was important to me, and I wanted to make sure that I did that. Because I studied a lot of dragons before I drew her. Okay, so we have a pink body, and let's change to a different pink for her. Well, actually, let me see what this one looks like on this paper. Okay. I think that what I will do, well, let's see. Actually, maybe I'll do this. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing a little harder and filling in these little circles. With the darker pink. Making sure everybody can see. I'm not sure. Yeah, I did. I turned up the light. The light is okay, right? How's the focus? Is the focus okay? Or am I out of focus? If you have come in and I have not said hi to you, I apologize. I might not have seen you, so speak up. For those of you who might be new, welcome. If anybody is lurking, welcome. Okay, good. Focus is good. All right. Terrific. Thank you. I got to trust that all of you will speak up in the event that I screw up. Excuse me. Oh, that's much better. This always happens after it's been pretty good. You know, I haven't coughed a lot on videos or anything like that. But when it gets wet like this, it's hard. And it is a rainy mess or snowy mess across much of the United States right now. So I'm back to the pink, the fancy pink, just sort of filling in those spaces that I hadn't filled in before. We'll do some shading. Okay, so if we're going to go with those pinks, then I might as well do the rest of this coloration. We can add some shading around here to give it a more defined look. Of course, she's got little spikes that run down her back. I'm just using really medium pressure, or light pressure, I guess is. Okay, now we will use a let's try the dark pink. Let's try the actually, you know what? No. I'm going to venture out there on a limb, and I am going to use space. Space is the Cobras. Now, if I have any complaint at all about the this set, is that it's hard to tell what color they are by looking at the pencil without the words and all of that. You know, you can't just look at the leads really on a lot of the pencils and see what color they are. But I just want to see what this is like for doing a little bit of shading. And this is the space, which is the Cobra 80, CB80. Just wanted to see if I could capture a little bit of that shadow behind her horn there, or her side piece. What is that? Her side flap. Those are her ears, where her ears are. I want to put this in now because as I build up my color of the pink, wait, what? Oh, Anne, hi. Welcome. Thank you for coming. That's lovely. Hey everybody, Anne from A Colorful Life is here. Thank you for coming, Anne. Loved the experiment. Loved all the warnings. Yes, the Black Widows. I'm using the Black Widows and on a new drawing that I just finished yesterday. Actually, I finished her the day before, but I did all of the, because I have to scan her in and then clean up the little overdrawn lines. Although I don't do that very much. I have gotten to the point where I don't have to do very much cleanup on my drawings. And so I'm just adding, I probably shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Just adding in a little definition around these lines. And then build up that color. Wow. Oops. I apologize, everybody. Didn't mean to get into that shadow. I'll be able to blend some of this out. I have found that these particular pencils react much better under medium pressure than they do under really light pressure. So you just have to keep that, keep that in account when you're coloring with them. And part of it is that when they're first sharpened, they come square sharpened. And I don't like to waste lead, so I tend to color with them and then wear them down as opposed to throw them into the sharpener to get a sharp point. Oh, thank you again, May. Teresa's book. Thanks, May. Teresa Ivanor. Hi, Patty. Patty, who's Patty? Okay. I apologize if I'm missing stuff, guys. I've got my brain is engaged. Brain is engaged elsewhere. It's thinking I really want a hot cup of coffee is what it's thinking. And instead, I just have a cold one. May is a wonderful mod. I'm telling you what. She knows what she is about. Let's see. So just adding those little shadows in there. Now I can build up some more pink. Where's my fancy pink? And go in for a second. Just going right over that purple. Excuse me. So you see how when you go over that purple like that, it creates more of a shadowy effect, and it pulls it out and gives you a nice subtle blend. I go back and forth. You know, if I work with the Inktense a lot, I love the Inktense. If I work with the pencils more, I love the pencils. So I guess I am a coloring tool. What do they call it when you fickle? Coloring tool fickle. God, I love my job. I gotta tell you guys, I love my job. I was so when I got offered. I mean, it was a real job offer too this week, and it wasn't like, you know, it was the my mentor that, you know, that sort of raised me in my industry in real estate law, called me and said, you know, I really need somebody to open some East Coast offices for me. And I'm like, no, I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. I cannot go back. But I love this. Oh, whoa. $25 a month? No way. It's a lot of money. Catching up with chat. Yeah, Tammy, I mean, I get it. I completely get it. And by the way, you know, I sincerely admire Jennifer. And the way that she's managed to make a business out of what she's doing. I like Steve very much as well. But you know, geez Louise, that's a $25 a month is a lot of money to me. It'd be a lot of money to me. Okay, so now just sort of keep building up the colors and the shading. Now this is the plum pudding, so let's bring a little of that in from down here as well, which is by far the darkest of all the pinks. Yeah, Jennifer is who I want to be when I grow up. she's she's a great one to learn from. I watch what she does and the success that she's having at it, and I just wonder. Okay, now I sort of went off the out of the plan there from what I was doing. Maybe I could use this. Oh, there we go. This is the Plum Pudding, which is the darkest pink. I've been trying to decide where I wanted to use it. And I think I'm going to go back to the fancy pink. And I'm going to, because I have an idea. Sorry, I got sidetracked there in my brain went somewhere else. I have my apologies. So I'm going to add the pink here and try it on this side and see what happens. Hi, Kenny. Now, everybody, I admire Jennifer in the fact that she's been able to turn her business into her hobby into a business. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Sorry about that, Kenny. Yeah, I'm alternating back and forth between a lot of different pinks. The ones that I have in my hands are the bubblegum pink, which I think I used here in the little dots, the little freckles, and then the space, which is what I used for the shadows, so the purple, and then I went for the plum pudding, and I've used that so far. I put it down here where it would be darkest between the legs, and then I've also it's what I'm sort of I'm bringing it in between the spikes of her horns. And then the last one, which is the ledge shade, is the fancy pink. So yeah, she has a big dragon. You have to excuse her. Hey, I didn't pick the color. I did not pick the color. I didn't pick the pencils. Deb picked the pencils. Jody and Mia Bear picked the color of the dragon, and I'm just rolling with it. And y'all are talking about competing channels and, and all of that. So, you know, so my brain is full. What can I tell you? My brain is just full. The so far the Plum Pudding is the only one out of the Black Widows set. The other three are out of the Cobra set. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going back to the Fancy Pink. Which is the lightest of the shades. And just blending a little bit of that in. And then I'm also going to add, since I'm in here, I'm going to add some of this space right here in the crease where the flap would connect to the spike. Oh, you know what? I realized that you guys can hear that. Talk about greedy noise. I'm sorry, but I have to have that sound on my phone because it just, it's the thing. It is the thing that that makes or breaks whether or not I had a good day. So it's okay to love what you do and want to make, want to be able to buy groceries. And so maybe that is the thing. I believe that particular household, for Coloring Bliss, is being supported through the efforts of those two people who are doing a marvelous job. And we should all be so lucky as to have to get to be able to work with people that we love on things we love. Okay. Oh, I like that. I like the way that turned out. What do you think? Oh, yay, Tammy. Thank you. Need a nice dragon coloring book. Thank you, Deborah Arnold. Uh, oh, yeah, no, it's not the phone ringing, it's the cha-ching. It's the cha-ching noise that it makes when it just is it. My phone hasn't rung in 15 years. I don't even have cell service. I have a smartphone, but that's only so I can access Instagram. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm putting another layer of fancy pink just to sort of when it rings like that, it's because there's been a sale of something in my shop. Okay, and then I'm going to the Plum Pudding. Okay, so the Plum Pudding. I need to make sure that I'm coloring someplace where you can see it. Okay. If I go out of focus, let me know. I just want you guys to be able to see what's going on here. So I just put a little bit around the edges like that. And then, it's sort of the standard blending technique with pencils. Put your darkest shade in. And I am using fairly light pressure here. Just trying to give these spikes some dimension. And then back to the lightest shade, which is the fancy pink, to sort of blend that. You go right over it, blending it down. Yay! I have groceries to buy this week, so that's going to be nice. Oh. And my November book royalties will finally be here on the 29th of January. So that'll be nice. Okay. So that'll work. Then what color for the spikes? The spikes have got to be, let's try this. Let's try going full on hard pressure pink. Let's see how we like that. Because we can always change it. That's not bad. So no subtlety there. I wasn't building up any color or anything like that. I just colored hard with the pencil and created that. Okay, now, yeah, I think she's beautiful. I think she's going to be beautiful. Okay. So I'm back to the fancy pink, and I'm just very lightly, because I want this to be a, where the light is hitting it. So I just want to go over those areas very lightly that I hadn't colored before. And now I think I'm ready to darken up with the bubble gum. Actually, we may go with the plum pudding. She's good. Yeah, she is going to be a red and purple dragon when she grows up. You bet. So now what I'm doing is I'm just coloring the lower half of some of these big ones with this darker shade. Just to give them a little bit of, visual interest in her freckles. And we'll just keep going with pinks. And the bubble gum, not the bubble gum. Okay, fancy pink, bubble gum, plum pudding. Yes, plum pudding. And I'm going to just sort of go around here, just the lower half of this butterfly, because she's actually landed on our little dragon. And she's tickling her. Stop playing with food. Maybe, yes, Christine, stop playing with food. Say the person who paints with it. Oh, Jody. Jody paints with food. Oh, yes, I'm coloring with plum pudding. Oh, I get it. Hello. I am slow on the uptake today. Actually, that pink wasn't working for me, so I'm going for the outline in the purple. Oh, okay. Now I got to turn the page a little bit so I can get here. This is the plum pudding. I'm just putting a little bit here where her tail is coming around her butt. And this is the space. So this is the dark purple. Space, the final frontier. Sort of blend this out. I figured you would like that, Anne. Yeah. Caught myself singing the other day. I actually had to edit it out. Okay. And little toesies. What do I want to do? And I'm actually, these little lines that I put in for her little toes, I'm just coloring over those with that dark, and then I'm going to just go over it a little bit with this dark purple. And that helps to give the toes a little feeling of dimension. And then I will color it with the fancy pink. And then she's looking pretty good so far. She needs a little touching up here with the plum pudding. I'm going to darken up these areas. Bye, Jody. Take care. Have a good sleep. Or a good dinner. I don't know, what time is it in the UK? 3, okay, 3, so 3 plus 5 is 8. Yeah, it's dinner time. So I'm just switching back and forth between the. I really should take the bubble gum out of my hands because I am not really using it for anything other than these freckles. So, and it's confusing me no end. Okay, this is a fancy pink, which is the lightest of the pinks. I'm just trying to leave light areas where I think that the light would be hitting her, you know? So you step back from your work and you look at it a little bit and hi Barb, welcome. Thank you for coming and you lurk away. Okay. Oops. There we go. Not quite sure why I stopped on this part, but do her little toes. Switching to the more medium pink. So where it would bend around the elbow here would be darker on the underside. So I'm just adding a little bit to the edges so that it would reflect that it sort of curves under her arm like that. Same thing's true over here. And where her arm comes down over her chest, there would be a shadow. So we'll turn the book and add that shadow in there. Fancy pink. Sort of blend that all down. Okay. Come in with that just a little. Once again, this is the lightest pink, and I'm just darkening up from the sides because there would be a light that sort of, if the light is coming straight on, it would be lighting up this whole side of her body except for where it starts to curve or where something on her is casting a shadow. Does that make any sense? Thank you, Anne. Blending with pencils is one of my favorite things to do, actually. And the widows blend nicely. They really do blend nicely. I have to say that as a pencil goes, I've been as impressed with these Black Widows as I have with with any other pencil I've ever tried. Some I've liked a lot. These would be my second choice behind my Prismacolors. if I could only have one set of pencils and they took my Prismacolors, I would probably go for the Widows. Although the person who tries to take my Prismacolors will die. Because that will not happen. Excuse me. So now I am back with the fancy pink, sort of darkening up here because this is where her tail is curving along the ground. So there will be a shadow where the ground, where the tail meets the ground. So I'm just setting up the base for that with a little bit darker shade of the fancy pink, which is our lightest shade, around the edges. It sort of goes up in the air because it crosses over each other right there. I should, that's kind of obnoxious. Oh, I'll move that under a pillow. It's not obnoxious to me. I love to hear it. So that's where the tail would cross over. So we'll put a little shadow in there as well. I'm just darkening this up. See how narrow I'm going with this? Because this the light would be hitting it. And so it would just be a narrow, but here the angle of the ground would be casting a wider shadow. So because it's not hitting the ground there, it's actual air. Okay, so now we'll go with the, oh, okay. And I guess I'll just put it back, May. See, I'm easy to direct. I really am easy to direct. I will try and give you whatever it is that you want if it's within my power. And as long as I agree. Okay. So now here, the tail would be hitting the ground, and then right about here, it would start its ascent to go up over her tail. So, or the rest of her tail. So the deepest shadow would be there on the back side. If you watch and see, now, things like this, these are the things that are so valuable to learn from watching other colorists. Anything that I've learned, I am learning through watching Sammy or Dee Dee or Anne or, any of the people who are good at dimensional coloring. Careful what you wish. Welcome, Katrina, by the way. I have seen you. If Charlotte is here, welcome to her too. Yeah, be careful what you wish for, May, because you will be in a drawing, and I guarantee you it. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. You guys have to stop telling me that, man. I only need the one set, and I cannot. Well, maybe I can. I don't know. I haven't seen my sales yet for today, but I'll see if I can squeeze 13.50 out of my grocery budget. That would work. Because I only have I have the cobras and the black widows, and I still need the scorpions. So stop telling me that. But tell each other, because as many as you want to sell, you should, because Albert could use the money. He's going for those light fast ratings now. Okay, so now I'm adding just a little bit of plum pudding. Just to sort of brighten up that pink. Right on top of the purple, and bringing it up just a little bit so that it shows kind of like a pink and purple stripe. And then if you use your lightest shade and then go all the way over all three of those, working it just a little further in yet, it creates that lovely blend and a very, excuse me, and a very smooth curve. Black widow tins are lightning. No, no, actually, here is an idea. Ollie, this is the set of the Black Widow originals, and if I had to say, I would say that these are like standard, whereas I think the Cobras are muted colors. And I don't know what the scorpions are because I don't have them. So if somebody knows, please say. Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, my swatch book is my guide and my Bible and my as far as stuff. That's probably one of the only sketches that's in here. There's another one. And I can't show you the. Oh yeah, I can. There you go. And there's the only other one, which is page 1. Bye, Anne. You too. You have a wonderful day. like I say, love that experiment. So glad you put the warning on it about the not using the heat gun. When when you said you were gonna early in the video when you said you were gonna use a heat gun, I'm like, no, 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 that's alcohol. No heat gun. Okay. All right, we are at an hour and 16 minutes. So let's okay, so we've worked out how we want to do those. What color should we do her chest? She needs a what does she need? I think purple. I think purple. A little more defined purple for her chest. So going back to the swatches, I'm thinking tulip and grape. Tulip and grape. Or purple haze. No, tulip and grape. Okay. So 48 and 55. That is in the Cobra set. Tulip and that's purple haze. There's grape. So we'll go with the tulip being the lighter color. Sorry, guys, I had to breathe for a second to try and get my sinus to open up again. Keep getting notifications on my popping up on my computer screen. Okay. Now, I'm also going to add just a little bit of a shadow in here. So it looks like her skin is folding together. Because after all, she's sitting, and like most, you know, when she sits, she looks fatter than she is. Thank you, May. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So now I'm going to do the dark stripes just like I did those spikes. Just going to not be shy about using fairly heavy pressure to lay in these dark purple stripes. Bye, Deborah. thank, thank you, Joey. Yes, my favorite noise. I'm sorry, I'm mercenary that way. Talk about greedy. Hey, it's $1.50. I'm allowed to be greedy. That's the way I've always looked at it. Okay, so now I've got this light purple again. Now I can darken up these areas a little more since I was so light with them before. And then I'm actually going to bump these up with a layer of pink to bring back the light. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of a lighter area where the light is hitting my little dragon, because that allows me to then darken it up from the two sides with the darker purple, or with the tulip. It's a subtle effect, and it probably doesn't show well on camera, but it shows here. Okay. A little more pink here, here, and here. She's a little pink dragon. What fun, what fun. Okay. That's a cute effect, yeah? Well, hi, joie de fille. How are you? Bonjour. And yes, I learned that from Deb yesterday, that you are French and that you speak French. I do not. Bonjour and excusez-moi are the two I know, and that's it. All right. So now I'm going to spike here and spike here. I have about 5 minutes left before I was going to, and actually I'm good, but I want to give May a chance to uh, get something to eat and do things like that too. So all of you, myself included, uh, I will work on her face a little bit here by putting in some of the dark purple, and what I'm really doing is defining creases. You know what I mean? Where maybe she has skin uh, that has little folds in it, just like you would a human face. picking out the contours. Turning it a little bit. So there'd be a contour here around her nose. Pick up under here. A little bit here on the far side. Narrower over here on this side. And then down here underneath her chin. And along her little mouth. My friend Virginia asked if I could make her a smiling dragon. And I told her, I said, well, smiling dragons have wicked teeth. So how about we just give her a gentle dragon look? And so then you would just, let's see, I want to use the bubble gum, break that bubble gum back out for her little frecks. Her little dragon markings. For right now. But I mean, you sort of get the whole gist of the shade, shading from the outside in. You can, blend your darker colors because these are actually very different colors. Then, the space is certainly a very different color than the pink, and yet you can blend it in and make it work. So if I've demonstrated that, then I've done my good thing for the day. And thank you, Katrina. And I'm gonna go ahead and back out. I am gonna end a little early today, mostly because I am very discombobulated. As I said, I have not yet had a full cup of hot coffee, uh, and and that's bad planning on my part. So I do apologize for that. Next week, okay, wait, I do wanna tell you about a couple things that are going on. May Brox and I are going to do a flip and it'll be the 3rd, I believe, of February, which is our Sunday streams, because May comes on right after me, and then we all go to Shalene's. So on February 3rd, May is going to go on at 2, and I'm going to go on at 4, and we're going to be coloring the same image. And so it'll be a cohesive flow through. And the reason why we're flipping it is because it'll be one of my images. Do I have it right, May? You're apologizing to me. You have nothing to apologize for. I'm absolutely nothing. Everybody, I mean, I'm really open-minded, and like I say, I happen to like that channel a lot. I just happen to think that's a lot of money. Uh, did you? That's what we had originally talked about. We're going to change it up, but May and I are coordinating something for February 3rd. So stand by for more announcements next week as we work out the details. The other thing is next week is my the spot where I'm going to introduce you to new artists the last Sunday of every month. And so the one that I've selected for this time is Rob Roscom. He still doesn't even know. I've got him on my list of people to talk to this week. Uh, but I know Rob a little bit, and I know he's game for whatever I've got up my sleeve. So we will go ahead and do that. I'll make sure that there's an advance announcement where or a post where you can get his art. I'll talk him into a freebie of some sort, and we'll color that. But I really like to uh, share whatever popularity I may gain with other artists. So and that's important to me. It's part of what I want to be with this channel is inclusive of everybody, not just my art. So, oh, Rob, it's his. Here, let me actually write it down on something. Yeah, give me just a. Where is a notepad when you need one? I never have one. It's Robert Roscom. Roskam like Mary. And his shop on Etsy is Robert's Illustrations. And he also, so that's his author name. He also has an artist page on Facebook of Robert's Illustrations. He's also got a fan coloring group. Uh, and he's a wonderful fine art artist and does tons of botanicals, animals, realistic animals, uh, fantasy, you name it. Rob can draw it. Uh, like all of us, he's got a real job too because his art just doesn't pay him enough. Uh, but he's really good. I mean, really, really good. His two books, Botanica 1 and Botanica 2, are on are on Amazon. So, and thank you, Mia Bear. I appreciate hearing that. Hi, Kim T. How are you? And I was just about to be signing out, and yeah, all I really need, Katrina, to feel better is 15 deep breaths and a hot cup of coffee. I I rolled out of the sack just sort of running today, and I haven't stopped, and I haven't eaten. So a meal, some coffee, uh, 10 deep breaths, and a cigarette, and I'll be fine. Right as rain. Thank you, Kim T. I appreciate that. That I love to hear, believe me. Uh, okay, so we are at hour 35. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Uh, Thank you, everybody, for coming. There will be, by the way, a giveaway when I hit 500 subscribers. I don't know what it will be yet, but I was at 445 when I looked, 445 when I looked today. So at the same rate, hopefully this will be, the 500 will come sometime next week. So thank you all for attending. Thank you for liking my little Spica. Thank you so much for the sales. That that I mean, it is. It's the difference between whether I eat that week or not. So that's what those Etsy sales mean to me. Uh, until we meet again, color something pretty. See ya all at May's stream. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let me grab the copy down. There it is. That is May Brox's channel. Please go over there and subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe and thumbs up here if you haven't. And we will see you there. Bye, everyone. Until later.